HCAM News is supported by our viewers and by Hopkinton Drug, located in this historic New England town since 1954. They are a multifaceted store dedicated to providing clients with an array of healthcare options.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of HCAM News. I'm HCAM News Director Tom Nappy, here to fill you in with all that is happening in Hopkinton. On today's edition of HCAM News, we have highlights from week one of the Hopkinton Hillers spring sports season, scenes from the annual Hopkinton High School Spring Concert. We talk weather trends with Eric Carty, and much more. But first, here's the latest from the Select Board. The Alpha Omega Council and the 26.2 Foundation were at the Select Board meeting to present the Boston Marathon wreaths that will be rewarded to the winners on Marathon Monday.
Here, something that we think is pretty special. These are gold wreaths from olive branches in Marathon, Greece. There's a process that takes place, and it's finally finished with gold. These are the wreaths, the actual wreaths that will be presented to the winners of this year's Boston Marathon. And over the last few years, they come from Marathon to Athens to Hopkinton, and we thought it's about time that the Select Board present these wreaths to the representative from the Alpha Omega Council, who will then see to it that they're brought to the consulate in Boston and then turned over to the VA in about 10 days, and finally put on the heads of the winners of the Boston Marathon.
I think that is awesome. It's a wonderful idea. Is there any way we can get a shot at the wreaths for the public to see?
We definitely want to.
I think we should.
There we go.
Has to have something. Yeah, we're not leaving without a photo. And I know that may be more than 2 minutes. Blame me. You can believe that.
Well, you can see my stickler for time is not here right now. So.
That's a good thing then. The costume.
Yes, so Costas C. Reedus, president of the Alpha Omega Council from Salem, Mass. This year marked the 201st year of the bicentennial of Greece, of our start of the liberation from the Ottoman Empire. So as a small token of our appreciation, I'd like to present each one of you with a coin that was issued by the National Bank of Greece commemorating this event. And I hope you will accept this as a small token of our appreciation for being the landing spot of these golden wreaths, and it's something that we hold dear to our Hellenism that we promote as part of Alpha Omega, and again, we're very pleased and privileged to be here to welcome these on behalf of the people of Greece and everything else. So we appreciate your the stature of being Hopkinton, the land of the marathon, so to speak. So if I may, I'd like to present each one of you if I could.
Please. Norman?
Thank you so much.
That's a lot of foul of accepting gifts, does it?
No.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Wow, this is really cool.
What about one more time? Anyone else in the audience want to get a photo?
Then what you going to do?
No, I'm okay.
The Select Board also approved some appointments for the Hopkinton Police Department.
At the University of Massachusetts Medical School, we dealt with a lot of ETOH individuals, a lot of mental health. We work with the mental health department over at UMass. We pretty much 80% of our calls, maybe 90% of our calls, is dealing with a lot of de-escalating individuals. Pretty much, essentially, we try to talk them down, and that's we found that to be more successful. The longer you can talk an individual down, the more successful you are in getting a better result than going hands-on, which ultimately leads to negative consequences. Somebody's getting hurt, or an officer getting hurt, situation blowing up. At UMass, a lot of our calls are hands-on when things get out of control, but majority of our calls are a lot of just talking down individuals, understanding them, building a rapport, being more compassionate with the people we interact with.
Great, thank you. So how do you take care of yourself and keep yourself refreshed, and if you need extra supports after particularly difficult situations, what's your strategy there?
So typically for me, I'm not any sort of physical specimen. Like compared to Officer Dennis, I'm we won't even get into that. But I've found that keeping a high level of physical fitness goes a long way towards mitigating the stress that I feel. With regards to if I go through a difficult call, a lot of times it's just helpful to talk it out with either a supervisor or somebody that was with me on the call. I'm lucky to be able to say that Officer Dennis is my partner at UMass for second shift. So whenever we go through something, we go through it together. And if one of us has a problem, we can talk it out.
Very good. Taylor, put some more love in this area. Very nice.
So I have been living in Hopkinton for 18 years.
Well, that answers that part.
And I am really looking forward to being in my own community. I was lucky enough to be able to find an opportunity that was really exciting. And I'm very honored to be joining the police department. I have a beautiful daughter who's at the high school, so I'm hoping that she's at the age where I won't embarrass her horribly by being
You will, though. Just the fact that you take air in and out is embarrassing to your children.
True.
Hopkinton water sewer manager and weather enthusiast Eric Carty recently joined us to talk upcoming weather trends here in the Hopkinton community. Here's a look. Hello, everybody. We are joined by Eric Carty, your favorite water and sewer manager from the Hopkinton DPW, and we're going to talk some weather trends and maybe some other topics, but let's start off with the weather trends. Eric, it's been kind of a wacky couple of weeks. You had some spring-like weather, and last few days you got some winter-like weather, but obviously in New England, you never know what you're going to get in March and April. So based on what you know, what do you think we can expect in the upcoming few weeks weather-wise?
So, well, maybe just to go back one step further, a lot of the long-range outlooks had the end of March being a very warm month going forward. So as we can see, that didn't quite play out the way they had predicted. Overall, the month has been warmer than normal. You don't really think about it that much because we've had some of these cold days. Being in the teens today certainly erases those memories. But overall, it's been slightly above average, which has been good. Coming up, the outlook is for us to stay right around average again, maybe a little bit cooler. With hopefully the stormy pattern getting ready to break. The way that the jet streams have been set up, there's just been all kinds of energy coming from the northwest, which dipped down in the middle of the country, and then from the Gulf Stream, all that moisture and energy had been coming up from the south, and those kept meeting in the middle, which was generating all of our weather, which pretty much it rained every single weekend in March. I think this is going to be the first one coming up that so far looks good. So that pattern's looking to finally break down. And that jet stream should hopefully shift northward, which will give us the warmer air coming up. But we can always use the rain. Thankfully, we haven't had as much as we did during the spring and summertime last year. But so like you said, it's in New England here. You never know what's going to happen. But that seems to be what the outlook's looking at right now.
Well, one of the things I think we could assume is we're more than likely done with the snow for this winter season, right?
Yeah, they had looked at about 2 weeks ago. We were looking for this Thursday, Friday. There was a potential to be a very big storm because the energy was all there. And they're actually calling for a few flurries when that front comes through, but that looks like it's dissipated. And generally this time of year, it's hard to get anything generated. I mean, we can go back to 1997. I remember that well. April Fool's Day, we had over 3 feet of snow. So you can never say never, but the chances of that are very remote.
Yeah, that must have been quite an April Fool's Day.
Well, the big thing was getting ready for the marathon because I was only 2 weeks away from that point. The highway had to go up and actually bring loaders onto the high school field. They had to bucket the snow off the field so they could set up the athletes' village. because there was just so much snow on the ground.
Absolutely. And so we didn't get too much snow this winter, but I know it's probably been busy over at the DPW. How's everything going? And you'll have to start getting ready for the marathon soon, once again, in a few weeks.
Actually, the highway was very busy, although there wasn't a lot of snow. We actually ended up a little bit above average, and Boston actually beat out Worcester in terms of snowfall for the first time in about 50 years. But there was a lot of, because of all that energy that I talked about earlier, there was a lot of storms that ended up having rain. It was like 60 degrees and raining, and then the next day the temperature would just drop to freezing. So the highway had to go out multiple times salting. That happened. I can remember at least 3 weeks in a row we had that same scenario. We had ended up record high days, and then followed by a below normal day afterwards with the precipitation. So it kept them busy. But now, like I said, everything's focused on getting ready for the marathon. The highway's actually been out doing a lot of sweeping, getting stuff in preparation. About the week before the marathon, we'll go out and we'll check our pipes in the center of town, both the water and the sewer, just to make sure everything's all set for that, for the big day. This will be the first one in 2 years or 3 years now that they'll be back to normal operations with everybody being there at once.
We're going to take a quick time out, a whole lot more ahead. Don't go anywhere.
HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Phipps Insurance Agency, representing companies such as MapFree Insurance. Their family-owned independent agency is deeply rooted in the communities they serve and offer time-tested insurance products to fit individual needs. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance specializes in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance.
Welcome back to HCAM News. The Hopkinton Hillers spring sports season kicked off this past week. Here's a look at opening week highlights.
Hopkinton Hillers boys varsity lacrosse opened up their season on Friday, April 1st versus Westwood. Here's a look at what happened.
Now McDonald behind the net. Takes it around, trying to work the defenders. He's looking for a shot. There it is! First score of the season for the Hillers. Owen McDonald at 9 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter by Jack McManus. And now Woodworth approaching. Sends it to his left. And now on the side of the net and striking, Troy Fredrickson. That'll make it a 1-1 game. Garner in, scoops it out, a shot and a score. John David makes it 2-1 Westwood. Colley rushing in. Takes it in front of the net, and a nice score there by Troy Fredrickson. Far side. Woodworth goes back to David, and now there's a shot and a score by Ben O'Brien. Ben O'Brien with an absolute rocket to make it 4-1. Trying to work the defender. Takes it out in front, and a great pass to Owen McDonald, who pops it in the field. And a long launch there by Manser. Picked up along the near side by McDonald. And there's a quick shot and a score. Cooper Goodman. What a great job there by the Hillers, quickly getting it up the field. They set up Cooper Goodman right in front of the net, and he was able to pop it in.
It was a 4-3 Westwood lead heading into the second half.
Westwood in the green jerseys, Hopkinton with the white. And there's a quick shot and a quick score by John David to start things off in this second half. What's going on? So it'll be a big help to have that camera available that will be able to stream the games for us and
get you your Hopkinton Hillers action. A good feed by Brendan Varnerin and Troy Fredrickson. Swipes it in to make it 6-3 Westwood. McDonald. Approaching shot, score! Owen McDonald with a beauty. That'll make it a 6-4 game. David approaches. A nice feed and a score by Troy Fredrickson. The game ends in an 11-7 Westwood win. Owen McDonald netted 4 goals for the Hillers. On Tuesday, April 5th, the Hiller boys fell in a road game versus Medfield. They now stand at 0-2 on the season. Boys tennis opened their season with a 4-1 win against Wachusett on April 1st. Adam Glace and Pranav Kapper won at second and third singles, while Spencer Smith and Adam Palacios and TJ Whedon and Rishit Shakar won at first and second doubles. Senior Katie Callery organized the Hopkinton High School distance squad to add their miles to complete marathons today in honor of local runner, physical therapist, and track dad James Cassidy, who is undergoing cancer treatment and running the Boston Marathon for Dana Farber. Congratulations to Katie on a great effort and her help on raising funds to fight cancer. On Tuesday, April 5th, girls tennis opened with a 4-1 win over Wachusett. Riley Kradenmacher and Victoria Allen won at second and third singles, while Haley Kessler, Arushi Kamra, and Vanya Matur and Roma Tawari won at first and second doubles. Also on Tuesday, April 5th, 0-1 Hiller Girls Lacrosse took on 1-0 Medfield in the Hillers home opener. In the first half, Medfield led 8-1, but Hopkinton closed in. Hillers trying to set up shop in front of the net. Dacey. Closing in, shot and a score. Nice goal there by Emma Dacey. Out in front now. Hayward trying to close in. Shot, and that is in. Another score for the Hillers. Is Emily Hayward with her second goal of the game. Hayward with it, putting on the moves. Out in front, nice pass and a nice shot. Hayward to Dacey, and Dacey to the net. That's Dacey's second score. 3 straight goals for the Hillers made it an 8-4 game, but Medfield would end up taking the win 19-8 in a tough battle for a young Hopkinton team. The Hiller girls are now 0-2 on the season. Medfield improves to 2-0. For the Hillers, Emily Hayward had a hat trick. Emma Dacey and Jamie Arena had 2 goals each, and Michaela Scanovan added a goal. Hopkinton High School recently hosted their annual spring concert. Here's a look.
Breaking through the borders, tumba, tumba ta. I like a tumba, tumba tail. I like a tumba, 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 tumba ta. I like a tumba, tumba ta. I like a tumba, tumba tail. I like a tumba, 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 tumba ta. I like a tumba, tumba, tumba ta.
It's time to fill you in with some other happenings you should know about. We have reached a crisis in high school sports. Older officials are not being replaced quickly enough by younger officials. Did you know 45% of officials report they have less than 6 years remaining in their career? 50% of officials are 55 years or older, and just 12% of officials are under 34 years old. So if you like sports and you are interested in officiating, get involved. We could certainly use the help to keep high school sports going. Airing live on HCAM Monday, April 11th at 7 p.m. It is the Hopkinton Youth and Family Services Youth Mental Health and Suicide Prevention Program. Be sure to tune in to learn what you can do to prevent youth suicides. There'll be a couple presenters, Dr. Naja Lopez Riley and James McCauley. You could attend the program at the Hopkinton Center for the Arts or watch it live on HCAM. That's Monday, April 11th at 7 p.m. You're running out of time. If you would like to try to earn a Hopkinton Marathon Committee scholarship, they're giving away 6 $1,200 scholarships to graduating seniors that are accepted to a 2 or 4 year college or university and as lettered in at least one varsity sport in high school. The application deadline is Friday, April 15th at 2 p.m. and the applications must be delivered to Hopkinton Town Hall or emailed to Elaine Lazarus. Support your team. Purchase a Hopkinton Hillers flag to put in your yard or put above your front door. It is a beautiful flag to show off your team spirit. The Hiller H Flag Fundraiser is being hosted by the Hopkinton High School class of 2022. The flags are just $30 each. For more information, head over to hopsenior2022.com. A number of positions are available in this year's Hopkinton Town election, but time is running out to get your papers in. If you're interested in more information, head over to hopkintonma.gov. Our picture of the week: Hopkinton veterans enjoyed another military mess at the Senior Center on Friday, April 1st for their monthly breakfast. Here you can see some of the heroes in attendance. A big thank you to Hank Alessio for sending this photo to us of our Hopkinton Veterans Breakfast. You could catch the breakfast every month, so if you know a veteran or would like to get involved or perhaps donate a breakfast, be sure to reach out to the Hopkinton Veterans Commission. Upcoming town government meetings include on Monday, April 11th at 7 p.m. We'll have the Zoning Advisory Committee airing live on HCAM TV. Then on Tuesday, April 12th at 6 p.m., we'll have the Select Board meeting airing live on HCAM TV. To view all upcoming town government meetings, head over to hcam.tv/gov. And for more information on upcoming town government meetings, you can head over to hopkintonma.gov. Believe it or not, we are out of time for this edition of HCAM News, but don't worry, next Thursday at 6:30 p.m., we'll be back. For all of us at HCAM, I'm Tom Nappy. We thank you for tuning in. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon.